Hi, this is CJ, and this is 316 Seconds. Let's go. So there has been some movement within the social media spheres very recently that has come up against the concept of tithing and giving to God. And I do believe the reason why this movement even caught on fire at all was that people gave to God without understanding what God was requiring of them. And so today's episode, I titled it, Does God Really Want Your Money? We're going to go to the book of 1 Samuel chapter 15. And we're going to read, it's a long read. We're going to read the entire chapter or most of it. And we'll have our conversations in between the verses. And so here we go. Samuel said to Saul, "The Lord sent me to anoint you king over his people, over Israel. Now, therefore, heed the voice of the words of the Lord. Thus says the Lord of hosts, I will punish Amalek for what he did to Israel, how he ambushed him on the way when he came up from Egypt. Now go and attack Amalek and utterly destroy all that they have, and do not spare them, but kill both man and woman, infant and nursing child, ox and sheep, camel and donkey." So Saul gathered the people together and numbered them in Telaim, 200,000 foot soldiers and 10,000 men of Judah. And Saul came to a city of Amalek and lay in wait in the valley. Then Saul said to the Kenites, "Go, depart, get down from among the Amalekites, lest I destroy you with them. For you showed kindness to all the children of Israel when they came up out of Egypt." So the Kenites departed from among the Amalekites. And Saul attacked the Amalekites from Havilah all the way to Shur, which is the east of Egypt. He also took Agag, king of the Amalekites, alive, and utterly destroyed all the people with the edge of the sword. But Saul and the people spared Agag and the best of the sheep, the oxen, the fatlings, the lambs, and all that was good, and were unwilling to utterly destroy them, but everything despised and worthless that they utterly destroyed. Now the word of the Lord came to Samuel, saying, verse 11, "I greatly regret that I have set up Saul as king, for he has turned back from following me and has not performed my commandments." And it grieved Samuel, and he cried out to the Lord all night. So when Samuel rose early in the morning to meet Saul, it was told Samuel, saying, "Saul went to Carmel, and indeed he set up a monument for himself, and he has gone around, passed by, and gone down to Gilgal." Then Samuel went to Saul, and Saul said to him, "Blessed are you of the Lord. I have performed the commandment of the Lord." But Samuel said, "What then is this bleating of the sheep in my ears, and the lowing of the oxen which I hear?" And Saul said, "They have brought them from the Amalekites, for the people spared the best of the sheep and the oxen to sacrifice to the Lord your God, and the rest we have utterly destroyed." Then Samuel said to Saul, "Be quiet, and I will tell you what the Lord said to me last night." And he said to him, "Speak on." Here are people who God had instructed to go into a city for definite reasons and destroy everything that they found. Now, the Word of God records earlier that the people and Saul made the decision to not obey the full commandment and instruction of God. But when he is confronted, he claims that they have brought them from the Amalekites. He says it's the people who have done this. But you must realize that what God required from Saul and the people was obedience and not their substance. Let's keep reading. And so Saul begins to argue, verse 20, and Saul said to Samuel, "But I have obeyed the voice of the Lord and gone on the mission on which the Lord sent me, and brought back Agag, king of Amalek. I have utterly destroyed the Amalekites." Verse 22, so Samuel said, Has the Lord as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as in obeying the voice of the Lord? Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to heed than the fat of rams. The reason why many people fail to understand the reasons for which we sow is that they were led to believe by some lie that God was concerned about the substance. What God is concerned about is your obedience. God doesn't spend currency in heaven. God has no need for your money. So when you sit on your little high horse and tell yourself, oh, I won't give anything more to God, do you realize how ridiculous it sounds? You cannot support God. You cannot sustain God. If anything, you are the one who is totally dependent on Him for your sustenance. Don't let anybody deceive you. When you sow, God is not interested in your substance. He's interested in your obedience. That is the principle. The principle is that of honor. The principle is that of honor. For a third time, the principle is that of honor. Let nobody deceive you. Let no person tell you a lie. Our God is worthy of honor. And because we honor Him with our obedience, it is easy for our substance to go where our honor is.